Right, hello, welcome back yet again to yet another video from Build a UCAT. What are we doing? Well, we are skinning the cat, and the name of the cat you know is UCAT. Right, here we are. So, what are we up for today? What we're doing today is trying to crack another few set of questions on, different subsections. Today I'll just highlight just a tiny bit or tiny bit on about the strategy bit. I talk a lot more about strategy. Strategy is the key. So in the courses that I do, strategy is a massive key. Right. So in the UCAT, as you see here, so you've got different subsections. Verbal reasoning, okay. Decision making, okay. Quants and situational judgment. If you've got all the time in the world, if you're starting early, the early risers, right? Next, what should you be focusing on? You essentially should be focusing on these two. Essentially be focusing on these two. If somebody will ask why particularly these two, well, the reason behind that is your ability to pump up your score is enormously high when you in decision making, DM and quants. Enormously high. Out of these two, if there's a preference, if you've got time at hand to prepare, right? If you've still got time at hand to prepare, you should be focusing mostly on decision making. Right. It says, okay, mostly in decision making. What's happening in decision making? Within decision making, then you have to have another strategy. The strategy for your decision making is that you've got most of the questions altogether. You will get 29 questions is what we're looking at. So out of the 29 questions, what happens? Out of the 29 questions, there will be 9 out of the 29 questions, minimum 9 questions, out of the 29, which come from syllogisms. So you're looking at roughly around 31% of the questions coming from syllogisms. From 9, maximum there could be 11 questions. If it's maximum, you're pumping it up to 37%. That means out of 30% plus questions, 30-35% of your questions coming from syllogisms, number one. So your emphasis when you are preparing for this UCAT, right, should be mostly on syllogisms. What are these syllogisms? Syllogisms are those drag yes and no questions. And mind you, each question is 2 marks. I've repeatedly told you. Emphasis should be on those drag questions. And I've shared half a dozen videos already on the strategy. Speed, and accuracy are your best friends in UCAT. So you need to come up with a method, as I've showcased to you, the method of tree diagrams in all those previous videos. So you should be focusing mostly on syllogisms. If you still got time at hand, if you are starting very late, well, that's it's a clumsy way, sorry to say that. But if you're starting early, like no wonder I start my programs, the courses which I do UCAT fairly early. I start them in May. Right, so that's when all the courses start, online classroom sessions in May. So May is ideal. If somebody is to tell you, well, all right, you just need 2 or 3 weeks, absolute, no, that's a bad idea. Just stop myself from saying some of the other profanity. Right, so you should not be, 4 weeks is a big no. You need, because the reason is nowadays, just after COVID, I've observed, universities, UK or Australian universities, the grade boundaries, so to say, have enormously gone up. They've just pumped up altogether, right? In which a huge emphasis is on your UCAT scores. And as a result, you need like a higher. On a different video, I will explain what is a high UCAT score and what should be looking for. Right, just because after pre-2025 till last year, anything which is average score above 700, which is a total of just before 2024, because they used to be abstract, now it's not. So I'm just talking about stats before 2024. Before 2024, anything above 2,800, anything above 2,850, you're guaranteed a call for an interview. Mark my words, you can quote me on this also. Anything above 2,850, I'm talking about pre-2025, when abstract used to be there, you are guaranteed a score of, anything above 2,050, we're guaranteed a call for an interview. Right, guaranteed. Next, and now things have changed altogether. We don't know how is it going to look or smell like in 2025 after post abstract being removed. Right, so carrying on from where we left. So syllogism is a big must. because carries 2 marks, maximum number of questions, 9, 11 questions, and imagine there are 29 questions, and then imagine you are able to have 100% accuracy. You are able to have 100% accuracy, get cracking all the 11 questions. You've already got 22 out of 29. Wow. You've already got 22 out of 29. Just imagine how big a weightage it is. So that means out of 22, so you've already got 22 out of, okay, 9, depending on how it's marked, but each question is 2 marks. That means you've already got 22, not exactly out of 29. Right, now, emphasis should be on priority-wise on syllogisms. So that is your priority A. Right, priority B is recognizing assumptions, where it's very easy. That's the second priority of the UCAT examination body. Priority C should be altogether to do with interpretations. Interpretation is very alike syllogisms, but with a lot of text. And speed maths is what is essentially required for interpretation. Next, priority C is Venn diagram. Priority D is probability. That's the plan for today. Priority E, last one, should be logical puzzles because they're time suckers. They take a huge amount of time. We always put them on the back burner. I will be do lots of questions on logical puzzles in the courses. But anyways, right, so our plan for today would be, so as I said to you, if you've got time at hand, you're an early riser, early starter, ideally, you should be starting in May because many UK, if you are from England, so many UK schools, colleges, A-levels, they would be doing their mocks in the month of May or in the month of April after this half-term break in the April and May. And after that, that's when you start cracking on your UCAT prep. Right, okay, so emphasis should be, if you're starting early, start with decision making and quants. You can seriously pump up your grade. Within that, syllogism has to be your key, followed by recognizing assumptions, followed by interpretation, which is just similar to syllogisms with a huge amount of maths involved, speed reading, speed maths. Right, anyways, without further ado, let's get cracking. So what are we doing today? Probability. Oh, easy ones. Easy ones depending on how good or bad you are in GCSE. It's predominantly GCSE maths, which is stats, is what you're doing here. Now, we need to find faster ways of doing probability. As I shared with this information with you before, that doing GCSE ways is not wrong. It's just time sucking again. Takes up enormous amount of time. We need time efficient, faster ways of doing it. Ready? Here we are, starting with altogether probability. Easy ones. Let's see how fast we can crack these questions. I'm hitting on probability. Here we are. Hit the navigator. Probability. Here we come. Ready or not? Here we come. Right, question numero uno. Right, here we are. So in this case, what is he saying? Jerry sells dishes of ice creams. Any dish has up to 3 different flavors. He decides to include a 4th flavor. Ready? Is 8 the number of extra dishes of ice Jerry can sell with up to 4 flavors? Right, okay, so what's the way to do it? Those of us who are A-level maths, you might have heard binomials. So that's the logic I'm using in this scenario, faster maths, right, compared to some other ways of doing it. Right, so if there are 3 different flavors, so if there are 3 different flavors, I'm doing 3C1. Right, 3C2, you should know what 3C1, 3C2 is, binomials. And do I have 3C3? Do that in your head. 3C1, that will give you a 3. 3C1 will give you a 3. 3C2 will give you a 3. 3C3 will give you a 1. 3 plus 3 plus 3 plus 1. Do I have 7? Got it. Okay, so that was when there were 3 available. Now he's added another one that gives you 4 different flavors. If there are 4 flavors, so 4C1, 4C2, 4C3. I'll stop at 4C3. Why? Because out of the 4 flavors, I'm only allowed to use this. 4C1 is 4. 4C2, you do the mental maths. 4, 3, 12 divided by 2, 6. 4C3 is also a 4. 4 plus 6 plus 4, do I have 14? 14, if there were 4 flavors, 7. How many additional? 7. Got it. Bravo. So do I have, it will be 7 additional flavors. Here we are. 7 additional flavors. Let's see if we are right or wrong. We are indeed right. Compared to, if you look at that, sorry to say, that's a funny and lame way of doing it. Is you're just sitting down, finding out combinations. You can look at it for yourself, which is option D. That's what we got. And the way to do this question was speed maths. Is what I did. 3C1, 3C2, 3C3, and binomials. If you're not an A-level student, sorry to say, you'll have to get back to this common sense way. Ready? That's what we did. Right, okay. Right, moving on to our next one. The next one is, let's get rid of this. All right, okay. The next one I'm on about is, again, easy section here. Alice is a science consultant. All right, okay. She went to China to run a training session in English for the Chinese science teachers about communication science. Alice found that 9 out of every 10 teachers she met were keen to speak English. Right, watch out. 9 out of every 10 teachers she met were keen to speak English. 9 out of 10, 90%. Alice wrote that 90% of the Chinese science teachers were keen to speak English. What? She just met 9 out of every 10 teachers she met. Not necessarily science teachers, she just met 9 teachers. So was Alice's statement justified? Absolute no. Because if you read carefully, very similar to syllogism, yes or no question, 9 out of every 10 teachers she met. Right? She's not specifying she met 10 science teachers, so answer will be no. Next. Now, once you've selected no, you don't need to read this one. You just need to choose which one of these two will work. Now, after you've eliminated it, it's in a probability. The name of the game is elimination strategy. You eliminate, because firstly, when you do the calculations, you straight away eliminate. Is that going to be yes or no? So you have to know inclination. Is that a yes or no? If it's no, you've eliminated. Your probability of getting an answer right has now gone up to 50%. Initially it was 25%. Think of it. So you had 4 options to get one right, 25%. Now you've got 2 options left, eliminated. Every time you eliminate, you're increasing your probability of getting an answer right. Now my probability is 50%. Right, she's choosing generalizing from a sample. Oh, no. As some of the people who were self-selecting, option D. Right, moving on. Next question. Right, we are. Get rid of this. Yes, agreed. X and Y are playing a game by taking turns to throw a bias. Very popular question about biased dice. On a biased dice, some numbers are more likely to be ruled than others. Okay, the first person to throw a 6 wins. What if it is more likely to be ruled? He says some numbers. What if 6 is one of those numbers which is more likely to be ruled? Bravo, makes sense. X throws first. Whoever throws first gets an advantage. X and Y have equal chance of winning no matter how biased it is. Nope. Just remember, one of the simple rules, again, I talk a lot about in strategy-wise in my courses. X and Y have equal chance. Because it is biased, you don't have an equal chance. Number 1. Number 2, equal chance of winning. Y. Next, let's see. Simple one is, has equal chance? Answer is no. Again, pumped up my probability of getting it right is no. X has a better chance of winning as he has to fail in order for Y to have a chance of winning. X has a better chance of winning when the dice is biased towards 6. Right. Now, which one? We'll choose C. Right, let's see if C is the right answer. Let's see if C. Righty, C it is. Right, indeed it is C. Right, going back to the explanation. So if you look at that, I don't know. So if it's biased, what if it's biased towards 6? And I don't know how much it is biased by. Whoever gets 6, what if X? Whoever throws the dice first gets it. So that means has to fail for Y to get a chance. So it has to be. Has a better chance of winning when the dice is biased towards 6. Lame. Doesn't really explain much. C it is. Ready? Moving on quickly to our next one. The next one we're talking about is this. All right, here we are again. Now, strategy number, sorry, I lost the count. Now, when we get to questions like these, Harry can buy some of the outdoor pass, indoor pass, outdoor remains closed when it rains, indoor, well, straight away I know it. But for a question like these, you will draw a two-way table. Always, always, always. That's a simple strategy. For a question like this, you'll always draw a two-way table. And majority of the times, out of the 2 tables, what will happen? One of the columns would always have the same probability. Majority. I'm not saying all the time. Majority of the times, one of the probability will always be the same. Ready? So 2-way tables when there's 2 possibilities. So what have we got? We've got an outdoor pool. Outdoor pool. And we've got another one is an indoor pool. OD-ID. Outdoor pool. The outdoor pool remains closed when it rains. All right, closed when it rains. Now, past says that rain, likelihood of maintenance is the second one. Now, do we see here? Whenever there are 2 variables and 2, so 2-way table. The likelihood of the past. So then you straight away read the question, Harry, buy an outdoor pool. Everything has to be in the context of outdoor pool. The past records indicate that 0.3, it will not rain. How much will it rain? If it rains, it will be closed. So do I have 0.7% 70% probability it will stay closed? Right, outdoor will be 0%. Because it's indoor will be 0%. Why? Because it's indoor. It's unaffected by the rain. The likelihood the pool remaining closed for maintenance is 3/18. 3 over 18, do the maths, mental maths. Do have 1 over 6. 3 over 18 is 1 over 6. The outdoor pool is 1 over indoor pool is also 1 over 6, as I said to you before, many a times, not all, many a times, one of these columns would always have the same. Right. Should he buy the outdoor pool? No, because 70% of the times it will stay closed. Ready? Oh. No, it's my answer. I've already eliminated A and B, increasing probability. There's a high probability of rain, so the indoor pool is preferable. Of course, yes. The outdoor pool has a higher chance of remaining closed. No, probability is the same. Option C, easy. Right, so if I look at option C, here we are. Right, let's quickly take a look. Has to be C, it's easy one. As I said, this section should be a strength again. Super easy. Name of the multiple, just not many strategies, only 5 or 6 strategies are required for this. I'll try to share as many as I can in this video. Otherwise, course is the best one for you, only if you are interested. Ready, moving on to my next question. So next question, let's get rid of this table now. In a where will we? Right, okay. So we've got in hospitality, company runs a okay, company allocate leave per month. Okay, right. Throughout the year, summer SMR work in the same department 4, 5, or 6. 3 employees take leave on different days. Right. Is there more than 50% probability? Right. Let's suppose S takes leaves in the first 4 days. 6 takes leaves. Mira takes leaves in the next 6 days, and which is 10 days done. And then Ricky takes leaves in the next, so that means 15 days done. Is there a probability 50% more? 50% is yes, there is more probability in all the months. No, all the months are not all the 28, 29, 30, 31 days, different months. Absolute no. Probabilities. The probability in most months is less than 50%. No. No 2 employees will be ever working on every day. No. Option A, clearly. Why? What if it's 31 days? That means if it is 31 days, on the first 15 days, they could be absent. That means on the 16th day, if there's 31, if it's 30 days, it is exactly 50%. But if it is 31, it makes sense. Ready? So option A, clearly, easy one. It is. Right, okay. I'm just trying to rush through this because these are easy questions, trying to share more, trying to do questions where strategy is important. Right, here we are again. Dinah is a box of 6 pairs of fairings. 6 pairs of fairings that are identical in each and every way except the color. There are 3 red pairs. So red, and there are 3 blue pairs. So 3 red pairs. So do I have 3 blue pairs? 3 blue pairs. So out of which 3 times 2 is 6. Out of blue, do I have 6? Altogether, do I have 12 earrings in the bucket or a box? Should Dinah draw 8 earrings randomly in order to achieve this? She can get, if I draw 8, of course. If I draw 8, there's a huge possibility I will draw one of these 6. Hopefully that makes sense. If I draw 8, it has to be 6 plus 2 is 8. There is a huge 100% possibility that one color would definitely be coming out in completion. There's a 100% chance of picking 3 red pairs and 1 blue pair. I don't know, because he's saying 100% chance of picking red. I don't know, it has to be red. There's a 100% chance of picking possibly red or possibly blue. Therefore, because he's saying 100% picking 3 red pairs, no, can't be possible. So I know answer is yes, so it has to be option A, because I've eliminated. No was definitely not, so A has to be it. Now let's read on further. He says she can get more than 1 of each of the 3 pairs and 1 pair of the other color. Of course. If I got red, it could be red 6 or blue 6, right? And then what's left over is if I got 6 reds, that means there could be 2 blues. Or if I've got 6 blues, I'm looking at 2 reds. Option A, clearly, without a doubt. Right, okay, here we are. Option A it is. Ready? Hopefully that makes sense. Right. Now, moving on to my next question. Right, as soon as we can. Right, okay. Again, here we got Jeremy, music player, randomly selected. Jeremy. The music box has rock, classic and folk. How many do I have? Do I have 8, 5, and 2? Right, straight away. If Jeremy increases the chance of listening to classics, by delete 1 song on each. So what's the probability of picking a classic? 5 over 15, 1/3. Right now, probability is 5 over 15, which is 1 over third. If you delete 1 from each, 7, 4, and 1, what's the probability of a classic? Do I have 4 over 12? Oh no, stays the same. 1 over 3, it stays the same. Will it increase? Answer is no, it will not increase, so 50% probability. Decreases? No, it doesn't. Selection class remains the same. Perfect. Easy, bravo. Right, easy one. Probability stays the same. If they were 5 out of 15, 1 over third. If you delete 1 from each, that leaves with 4 out of 12, 1 over third. Stays the same. Option D. Bravo. Option D it is. Skimming through, rushing through this. Right, moving on to my next one now. So the next one I'm on about is this. So that's a good speed. So that's the speed we're looking at, how to skim through this. Ready? Next question, he says now. So the next question says a football coach plans to replace. Straight away now, when you see that, you straight away look at the question. What is he trying to do? Is player A the better replacement choice? Player A. Right, so I've got, again, two-way table is what I will draw. Let's see if it's two-way. Right, the second match of the players replaced, there's 80% chance of the coach's team scoring and 70% of the opponent scoring. Player B is replaced. All right, okay. So yes, it is a two-way table. So what have we got? Chances of the team winning, the opponent scoring means our team losing. Right, if players replace, 80% chance, 80% chance of the coach's team scoring a goal. Right, winning. And 70% chance of the team opponent means 70% of them losing. If the opponent scores, your team loses. If player B is replaced, there's a 20% chance of the coach's team not scoring. If you do mutually exclusive, 1 minus. That means again 80%, same rule as I said to you before. Strategy is one of the columns always most of the time, beg your pardon, most of the time stay the same. 50% chance of the opponent's team not scoring. That means 50% chance is this. Right, okay. So that means probability if he says A is a better replacement. All right. If player A is chosen, this is there. This is the decider. If players A is there, the team loses 70% of the times. So I don't want A. Answer is has to be no. Eliminated A and B. Has to be one of these two. Right. No, there is 70%, 20% higher chance of the opponent team not scoring. Oh yes, 50 and 20. 70 minus 50 is 20. Option C. Right. There's a lower chance of the coach's team scoring. No. Coach's scoring is the same. Option C, straight away. Easy. Right. Easy. Option C, it was. Right. Two-way table is the easiest way of making it easier for the brain to figure out which option it is. So, right. That was the strategy. Moving on as quickly as we can to our next question. The next question, here we are. Jack can buy machine A or machine B. Annual maintenance is. Now we got not a two-way 2 times 3 table, 2 by 3 table. Right, because I see 3 variables, 0, 50, 100. Machine A is equally likelihood. Straight away reading that, is machine B any good? Right, okay, so I'm talking about altogether, do I have 3 possibilities? 1, 2, 3. So do I have 0, 50, and $100 US or any dollar you like? Right, okay, machine A is equally likely to have an equal likelihood of having 0 and 50. Okay, A is equal likelihood. All right, I can't say half. Mind you, there's this one also. There is also equal machine having. Okay, the probability of the machine, the probability of annual maintenance is 0.3 for A. If it's 0.3, because he said these two are equally likely, what is not? So not 100%. So they call mutually exclusive. 1 minus 0.3, 0.7. Divide that by 2. 0.7 divide by 2, because he said equally likelihood. Do I have that would be 0.35. 0.35. Bravo. Right. Okay. Then he says machine A. And the probability of annual maintenance being 50 is 0.2 for machine B. If this is 0.2, then he also said equally likelihood of 0.50. Right, if this is 0.2, equal likelihood means 0.2. 0.2, 0.2, 0.4. 1 minus 0.4, 0.6. All right, 0.6. All right, hopefully it's legible. 0.6. Ready? Is machine B any good? Is machine B any good? Annual maintenance is 50% lower for machine B. Oh no, 50%. The numbers are different. Maintenance is 40%. Chance of the annual maintenance being 100. The chance of annual maintenance being $100 is 60% for machine B and only 30. Looks right. That's definitely right. Looks right so far. Let's see if D. The chance of annual maintenance being 0 is 80. of 0 is 80. Absolutely not. Option C, clearly. Right. C it is. Right. 2 by 3 table. There we are. So as quickly as you can, just about jotting down the information as quickly as you can. Ready? Moving on to our next question. Right. Let's see how many more we can do before the clock hits. Right. Okay. Joey can invest in stock and gold. I like investments. Right. So you've got stock and gold. 0% likely stock earning 12%. 0.7 likelihood of stock gold price is enormously high these days. If anybody's into finance or eco, there's 0.7% likely stock earning less than 20%, so minus 12%. Right, then he says greater than 12%. All right, return is 12 to 50%. All right, so I'm just jotting down the tables. 12 to 50 is right, and then do I have 50% more, as he says? So I've got 2 by 3 table again. 0.7% likely stock earning return stock is less than 0.7, right? That means these two combined together, these two will be 0.3. Ready? All right, let's see. The return for gold is 0.3 likelihood to be greater. Return for gold to be greater than 12%, greater than 12. This whole thing is 0.3. 1 minus 0.3 means this is going to be 0.7. As I said, one column has to be the same most of the times. There is 0.1 likelihood of the stock earning return of 51%. Is there a stock earning? Yes, 0.1, because we said these two add up together to make 0.3. That has to be 0.2, because he said these two was 0.7. These two will be add up together to 0.3. If 0.1, there has to be 0.2, add up to make 0.3. Probability of gold earning 12 to 50%. Do I have 0.1? How much is left over? Do I have 0.2? Bravo, done. Is gold any good option? Right, is gold any good? Gold any good? Right, we'll have to read through the all. Yes, the chance of return being 12% or less is lower for gold. Oh no, it's the same. Chance of being 50% or more is higher for gold. Yep, that's correct. 0.2, option B. Right, looks like option B. Return for stock is 12% higher. Return for stock is 12% higher. No, vague. Return of stock is 50% higher. No. Right, so option B it is. Let's see. Oh, indeed. It is B. Right, easy. It's just about the two-way table. I think so. We did quite a few questions. 10 is what we did. So name of the game hopefully was there are just a few more strategies to crack for probability. Hopefully if time permits we'll try and crack another video, another set of questions on probability decision making. Well, till the time, you keep belling the UCAT, and please do let me know. Thank you very much for people inquiring about the UCAT courses. Thank you. As I promised before, yes, UCAT courses will be starting early May, mid-May, and I have been replying promptly to all the emails across. So, yeah, that's it for now. Till we meet next time, cheerio, bye-bye, ciao, have a nice one. Till then, have a nice life. Keep cracking the UCAT. All the best, guys. Bye-bye.